Good afternoon once again on the Hot Sports Arena on YouTube and Facebook. My name once again is C. Mubarak. Today we are here at the office of the Regional Football Association for Northern Region, Alhaji Abu-Hassan Rhyzo. And of course, like you know, on Hot Sports, what we do, we try to get closer to the stakeholders in the game to get their expertise and also delve into other issues that support the development of the game, not only in football, but of course, other related sporting activities. So we are lucky to be here today. And let me also indicate that Alhaji is not only the RFA chairman for Northern Region, he is also the chairman for the Black Satellites Management Committee, that is the National Under-20 team, and also an executive committee member at the Ghana Football Association. So it's a pleasure joining me on the show. Alhaji, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much for having time with us. And we'll be coming to look a lot on you as a person, but let's take a look at the region as a whole, where you are currently as a representative of the Ghana Football Association here. The season has ended not quite long, definitely planning ahead of a new season, that is the 2025-2026 season. But take us through how the previous season ended. How did you see the last season?
Well, as a region, a regional football association, our responsibility is mainly organizing football activities and then promoting football activities in the region. Under our jurisdiction, we have the Division 2, we have the Women Division 1, we also have the Women Division 2, which we run, and then the newly introduced Girls U15 League. So these are activities that we run. Then the Division 3 and then the juvenile under the various district football associations. We had 70, in fact in 2019, we had 74 Division 2 clubs. We've been trying to reduce the number over the period of time. In fact, all regions are supposed to at least reduce the Division 2 clubs to 32. And we have been reducing them almost every year. We relegate about 8 and then we promote 4. Last season, we had 57 clubs participating in the Division 2 League. It ended successfully with Sankara Nationals from Yendi emerging as the overall champions and then gaining promotion to Division 1 to represent Northern Region in Division 1. We also had our Women Division 1 League, where we have 12 clubs competing. At the end of the day, we had Pelpia ladies and then Nasara ladies moving to the zonal playoff, and then Pelpia ladies making it to the women's premier. Then we had 8 clubs also competing in the Division 2 League, and then currently we have 10 clubs competing in the Girls U15. That one is still ongoing.
Okay.
So invariably, that is how the league went.
Alhaji, let's pick your thoughts on the progress of football development in your region. You definitely have brought up a quite number of initiatives, but can you tell us how you feel about the progress made so far under your tutelage?
Well, when we took over as a regime, we really wanted to streamline Division 2 football. That was the flagship program in the region. And we realized that clubs could just compete somewhere along the line, decide that they were no longer going to take part. And then that was it. The following year, they were back again. We realized that Division 2, you had clubs, 4 clubs gathering at a particular place to play knockouts and then other things, and then you had clubs emerging out of it. So we decided that there was a need to streamline that area and then make it very, very effective. So we introduced relegation in Division 2, such that we're going to relegate 8 clubs every year. And what that meant was that there was no way you were going to play somewhere along the line and decide that you were opting out. Once you opt out, it meant that that was all for you. You could no longer play in Division 2 again. You would have to go and start somewhere and then come up. So I think that the relegation and promotion really played a very key role. At the end of the season, you normally have Northern region where the numerical strength of the clubs very high, bringing in 2 clubs. Then Northeast 1 club, Savannah region 1 club. So at the end of the day, you have 4 clubs, so that we don't have a situation where you could have a season where all the 4 clubs emerge from one particular region. So at least Northern region will give us 2 every year, Northeast 1, Savannah 1, and that has been the trend. As a region, in fact, as a regime, let me state that when I took over, the first thing that needed to be tackled was image redemption. We needed to redeem our image as an FA.
Okay.
Remember when number 12 came in, Northern region was one of the regions affected. We had our former RFA chairman also involved in the number 12 episode. So it looks like the morale and then the image of the region had sunk to some level, and there was a need to do a lot to actually redeem that image. Okay. So that was the key issue that had to be tackled. That one was effectively tackled within the shortest possible time. We regained confidence among stakeholders, clubs, and then so on. So that we were able to tackle. Then registration was also a problem for the various clubs. So we decided that we were going to go around and then educate clubs on registration. So we had a committee in place, teams, one that would go to Northeast, go to Gambaga, go to Walwali to go and train clubs on registration processes. We had one to Yendi, where it met clubs at the Eastern Corridor there to train them on registration. We had one going to Damango to go and train on registration. We had one going to Bole and then STK, that is Sola Tuna Calabar, to train. Then Tamale, then I think Savaligo, Kumbungu. We did Tolon. We went round and then we trained the clubs with regards to registration, just to ensure that at least we didn't have too much challenges again when it comes to registration. Then we also realized that we were quite deficient when it comes to infrastructure. We didn't have too many fields. So I think I took it upon myself that the fallow land lying adjacent the new stadium, Ali Umama Sports Stadium, there was a need to go there with graders and then excavators, so to speak, so that we could level that place and then turn them to game centers. Constructed pools fixed them there, and then at least we had several pitches there, at least to aid in our game. We went to Caladan Sports Stadium to at least to do some work there, put stones on some of the pitches, then also fixed a goal post there to ensure that at least we had a very good force there too. In fact, even Tolon districts, I remember also going there to ensure that pools, standard pools were fixed at the Tolon Park. So that was also for infrastructure. We also took the pains to go around and then inaugurate the various district football associations to ensure that at least we invited the political heads, the district chief executives, and other opinion leaders to that ceremony, and then inaugurate the DFAs, and then just to tell them that these are the people running football there, and then they should try and then even get offices for them to stay in as a secretariat and run the game. We equally called on some respectable chiefs in our various communities at the various district level to plead with them to release land for the construction of fields or pitches. And then those that readily come to mind, I think Sola, Tuna Kalaba, the chief there, agreed and released land. Yuna, at Saviligu, we equally went there, and then we also got land there. I think Bimbila, the DFA, also took it up and then got some tract of land that was in Nanumba North. Bunkurugu districts were there again to also secure some land for the, the DFA, in fact, and then a whole lot of other districts. Oh. So that was also for infrastructure. Then we realized that technically there was also a challenge. We really wanted to bring up coaches to be able to train. So when the issue of license D came up, we were the first region in the country to actually take up the license D program. Then we had to host the team here. We trained, I think the first batch, we trained about 30 something, and then I think about 32 the first batch, and then the second batch too, we trained almost 36 thereabout for the license D program. Then apart from that, women football was an area we really wanted to bring up strongly. So for the first year, we decided that all women clubs were to just go scot-free without paying affiliation. So we implemented no affiliation fee policy. Then apart from that, no officiating fee. Yours was just to dress your girls up and then come and then play your matches. So no affiliation, no officiating fee. And then we even had to give them a token at least to mark the falls on day of matches. And I think this helped a great deal to encourage the women to actually put a lot of attention and then ignite interest, because if all you had to do was just to train, and then on the day of your fixtures you just dress your girls to come and play without any commitment. You didn't have to pay for officiating, you didn't have to pay for any affiliation and then what have you. I think that it really did the trick. Then when it came to the issue of the technical bench, we also decided that any lady who decides to do the license D course, half the cost would be picked up. So yours was to register, go through the program on the final day, then I refund half the cost back to you. And then this also helped a great deal to get us a lot of female coaches on the touchline. We encourage a lot of the juvenile clubs to register their players, either because of the issue of paper card, just using ordinary cards to play. They were not really very keen on putting their players into the FIFA Connect system. But we had to tell them the advantages of registering the players, that in case the player gets the opportunity to move up the ladder and then become a professional somewhere, we have what we call the FIFA clearing system, where at least monies paid to that club, part of it will trickle down even to the juvenile club they played for. So if you have been keeping a player for a number of years without registering the player into the system, just because you want to manage the age or whatever, at the end of the day, the player might go and you wouldn't benefit from it because nothing will trickle down. There will be nothing in the system that shows that that player has once played for you or you have groomed such a player at the juvenile level. So these were some of the things we had to do. Then there was also the need to ensure branding of the office of the Regional Football Association chairman. At least you need to be noticed, you need to be recognized wherever you find yourself. Visibility, very important. And for almost all congresses, official programs we have gone, at least we have made meaningful contribution and then inputs such that stakeholders begin to appreciate that, well, Northern region is also contributing towards the development and then running of soccer in the country. And I think that was also something that was remarkable. Then social media presence, because you can't be running football without actually projecting it out there for other stakeholders to see. So you realize that we had to launch our social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, now X, Instagram, website, and then so on, just to ensure that whatever we're doing at least was out there. And even as we speak, you realize that on Facebook, the Regional Football Association Facebook page, at least we've been very active there for some time. Then we also have the issue of trying to rope in our old players, the old or retired footballers association. You realize that we have had this rapport with them. I remember 2 years back after Congress, we were there to give them a sum of 1,200 cedis cash, and then also donated some footballs to them, just to ensure that they feel a part of us. I'm actually a member of that group. Occasionally, I go to do my own private support to the team or the group, but at least as a football association, we also thought it wise that at least, let's envelope a sum of 1,200 for them and then some footballs so that they can use in training on weekends. Then, apart from that, we also have This well, that was what is it? My vision whilst doing my campaign.
Okay.
That for the referees, I was going to set up a revolving fund for them, so that when there was a need for them to travel, or there's the need for them to travel at short notice, they could just go in there, borrow from that revolving fund. Then when they go and come and then they get paid, then they refund it there, so that individual referees could just go in there, pick money, and then travel for their matches without having to go out there to go and be borrowing or begging from others. Okay. And I think that it helped a great deal. I think when Baba Rahman also came some 3 years ago to do some donation to juvenile clubs, JC's, Beeps, and then other markets to juvenile clubs, I think I impressed upon him. He was very happy with the initiative, and then he also gave, I think, about 4,000 Ghana cedis, which was given to them again to enhance activities of the program. I think the sports media itself, I personally donated a token again, knowing very well that the sports media is also very, very helpful in projecting our activities, at least so that when you have your outdoors or weddings, it's easy to just advance something to that person. When members contribute whether 5 cedis, 10 cedis or so, at the end of the day, it goes back to replace that distance. So these are all initiatives, at least just to ensure that at least as a football, what is it, a regional football association, we are able to run the game very well. We equally have working committees that were set up, the disciplinary committee, Division 2 committee, women's committee, and then what have you, all these committees, just to ensure that at the end of the day, we get football in the region really moving forward. So virtually, I think these are some
these are quite remarkable initiatives and ideas that you have brought on board. But how has these initiatives shaped the development of football in this region? Shortly.
Well, like I said, let's go to Division 2. Before we took over, there was this widespread perception that clubs in Northern Region use the Division 2 as a platform to qualify for the Division 1 and then sell it out there to Brong and Hafo region. So you realize that most of the clubs that preceded our regime were clubs that would qualify for Division 1, and then the slot sold to investors in the Brong and Hafo region. But you notice that for some time now, at least that has ceased. I think the first year Dreams qualified. They played in Division 1, and then it wasn't sold out. Bembem from Kumbungu qualified the second year. The slot was not sold out. The state. Third year, we had Northern City. What is the qualifying? The slot was not sold out. The state. Fourth year, Yape qualified. They didn't sell the slot. They participated. And then this year, Sankara from Yendi have equally qualified, and there's no indication they are selling it. They are going to compete. So it shows that at least that competitiveness we have brought in with relegation and other things, it is now clubs that are really committed to the game and are ready to actually move forward, that are competing. So at the end of the day, you would realize that they no longer sell the slots, they stay, and that is a very huge impact as far as Northern Division 2 is concerned. Currently, you would realize that even at the ladies front, women division 1, we do relegation. And then we promote every year. We demote at least 2 clubs, and then we promote 2 to the women division 1 level again. And I think that if you go around other regions, it's not this. So once you get yourself in there, it means that you are just playing till thy kingdom come. But here we do our relegation, and then we do promotion
as well.
Then apart from that, you would notice that currently we are the only we are the first, and currently the only regional football association that is implementing running a girls U15 league. We've done this is the 2nd year, and it's been very, very wonderful. The first year we started with 8 teams. This year we are doing 10 teams, and I think that it's very, very very good initiative. In fact, this year the ESCO is saying all 10 regions should necessarily play U15 Women's League, at least taking a cue from what Northern region has started.
Alhaji, let's come to look at this. Seems very juicy, of course, hearing from you on these initiatives and how this implementation has reshaped football development in this particular region. Let's look at administratively. You seem to be combining 3 regions at a go. Politically, we have Savannah and Northeast, but when it comes to football administration, you are in charge of these other regions. How challenging is it, looking at the vast nature of the geographical area you find yourself in and managing the development of the game?
Well, really, it's a challenge, considering the fact that if you look at the landmass the region is occupying, that is the 3 northern regions, the northern region, former northern region put together now, northern, northeast, and then Savannah. You realize that we occupy about 1/3 of the landmass of Ghana, and that is very, very huge. I was telling somebody the other day that if you consider the distance between Pandai and then Bole, you are talking of moving from Accra and then almost getting to maybe Ejiso, so to speak. From Accra to Kumasi, you are almost nearing Ejiso. That is the distance you are covering in one particular region. So it's not really very, very easy to travel the length and breadth or organize football at all these areas. But at the end of the day, that is why we have the district football associations. They represent the regional football association at that level, and then at least using them as a stepping stone, you are able to get into these areas. We equally have committees that also has membership that is spread across the region. So if you take Division 2, you would have the DFA chairman for Nanumba North as a member, Mr. Mohammed Nassam as a member. You have Mr. Rahman, they call him man from Yendi, also a member of the Division 2 committee. So invariably, RFA chairman may not be at the Eastern Corridor, but at least you have 2 individuals there who are handling affairs when it comes to Division 2. And then we equally have one, Mr. Fusini at Nalirgu, also taking care of the Northeast as a member, and then membership has been carefully selected,
Okay.
so that at least we are able to touch base at all the various ends.
Okay.
The region actually is very vast, but
Mm.
at least we are using the committee system to ensure that we really cover the entire region.
Alhaji, let's move forward, and yeah, I'll be revisiting an issue you started with, talking about the fact that ESCO has agreed that numbers should be reduced, to 32 in all regions. Where probably people would think that when we're talking about development, it should be, seeing more clubs actually developing from these regions. I'll come to that when that decision was taken and whether the associations are quite comfortable with reducing the numbers to 32 in the Division 2 level. But as a chairman moving forward with all the transition you have seen, forming committees to spearhead the affairs of this particular season, what are your goals going forward into the new season?
Well, I really want to see a situation where we are able to organize our leagues very, very effectively without any challenges at all. I'm also looking forward to a league season where our judicial arm, the disciplinary committee, will be able to discharge its responsibility very, very well. And when their decisions are challenged at the appeals level, the appeals committee should still uphold the decisions of the disciplinary committee. It goes to buttress the fact that they are doing a good job. And I can tell you for a fact that since 2019, in fact, none of the decisions taken by our disciplinary committee has been overturned. Almost all the appeals have failed to overturn the decisions of the disciplinary committee. It tells you that lawyer Mohammed Alhassan Rhyzo and his committee are doing a good job. No wonder last 2 years we rewarded him with a citation, at least for his dedication and selfless commitment to association football. Apart from that, with regards to women football, I think currently we are the trailblazers, or we are actually the region that all other regions are looking up to when it comes to women football. And I want us to maintain our #1 spot as the leading region when it comes to women football. So these are things or goals that I think that we should be able to uphold moving forward. And I think that all stakeholders would definitely come on board and cooperate very, very well so that we continue in this regard.
Okay. Talking about, you're talking about collaboration. During the course of your campaign, you mentioned of bringing on board other stakeholders to support the development of football. How has the association collaborated with these stakeholders in terms of the development of the game?
Well, let me say that in terms of key stakeholders, here we are in the game. We are talking of the clubs. We are referring to the referees. We are talking of match coordinators. We are talking of supporters. We are also talking of the various committees and then so on, individuals involved in the game. In terms of that, I think that by and large we have been very, very successful in that regard. It is when it comes to the corporate world, really putting in resources. That is where we really have a challenge. In fact, we weren't so lucky. We took over late 2019. That was somewhere in October. Then 2020, first quarter 2020, we had COVID.
Yeah.
So most of the corporate bodies, the businesses and other things went on their knees because of the effect of COVID.
Okay.
So it looks like we started on a wrong footing. You are just about taking off, and those to actually bring in the resources have been hit by COVID. And then based on that, their businesses are no longer making the profits that they need to make to be able to. They were not even selling, most of them locked down. So because of that, they can't even mobilize resources for themselves, keep their businesses afloat, let alone push it to the football sector.
Okay.
So really, that was something that affected us a great deal. And then we equally have a second challenge here in Northern Region. Most of the businesses we have here are representatives or subsidiaries of the big companies or their principals out there in Accra and Tema. So the officers here don't actually have that authority to go out there and then release funds to support some endeavors unless it is cleared with their headquarters in Accra and then Tema. Okay. And that is the huge challenge we have here in Tamale. Okay. That you see a business, you go there, well, it's just a representative of a mother company in Accra or Tema. Okay. So you really need to push, not just from Tamale, but even in Accra and Tema, to be able to get things done your way. And I think that in that respect, we have not really fared very, very well when it comes to corporate support in particular.
But Alhaji, are there plans? You're talking about the fact that it's quite difficult, like you have explained. You are into your second term as the RFA chairman. Do you still have plans to continue to push to see before maybe you decide to exit, your seat, so that you bring these corporate bodies to support the development of the game?
Yeah, as we speak, at least we have even made some contacts, sent proposals out there, and then we are doing follow-ups, just hoping that at least things would click. And that is why we think that bringing down the numbers looks very, very important, because any corporate body that you go, oh, I want you to help sponsor Division 2 League. Then how many clubs do you have? You say 57. Then wow. Clearly, that alone is a turn-off. Okay. But if you talk of a number that is very, very reasonable, then you would realize it encourages sponsors to come on board. So bit by bit, we are going down. Then when you also have reasonable numbers, competition becomes keen. You realize that the players are not spread thin. You don't have a situation where you have a club that just have 2 good players and the rest are just adding up to the number. You don't have a situation where you have a club that has just 1 brilliant player and then the rest are adding up to number. If the clubs are few, you would have a situation where most of the most of the players are going to align, so that you would have about 8 good players in each club, 10 players, 11. You are going to have a very, very competitive distance. Whoever comes to sit and watch as a spectator or a fan would see very good football. But if you have more than 50 teams and then you can only talk of a star in one particular team, at the end of the day, the rest are just going to be running around and then wasting energy. But when you come to sit there, it doesn't really excite you. So they say the fewer the merrier. At least when we keep it very, very close and then very competitive, at least I believe that if we have about 32 clubs in Northern region, it's not too bad. At least it will be very, very manageable.
Alhaji, we're wrapping up. We definitely will come back because we have a lot to talk in terms of your position at the Black Satellites, Management Committee. But quick one, you have barely 2.5 years to exit your position as the RFA chairman. The commentary out there is that you have done enough. People have seen the work you have done, and so they will want, especially those in the game, will want you to continue. Others also believe that you want to take, a break and then shift focus to politics. What's the future like in terms of your position at the RFA?
Well, I have a job to perform, and then come October 2027, I think my second term would have come to an end. That is what I'm looking up to. At least work up to that time, and then at least everybody would have known that I came to serve, and I have served dutifully to the admiration of almost everybody.
Alhaji, let me pick your closing remarks. What message do you want to convey to the regionals or the region's football community? Because definitely we are entering into a new season. What should we expect? You have elaborated quite a number of initiatives. Are we looking to see more? What should we expect from you?
Well, let me just add that in the course of the term, almost every year, apart from, I think, last year, we couldn't distribute footballs. Almost every year, I think that we have distributed footballs, courtesy the support we get from the Ghana Football Association, who have equally distributed footballs. I remember last year like this, or last year before, we had each Division 2 club got 3 footballs each. We also had all the women clubs getting about 5 footballs each. We had juvenile clubs numbering over 100 getting 3 footballs each. We had the Division 3 clubs even getting 2 footballs each. And I think that it's been quite remarkable. My final message to stakeholders and football people out there is that they should all rally behind the Regional Football Association and its working committees, so that at the end of the day, we achieve the goals that we have set out collectively to achieve. It's not always the case that we should sit on the fence and then criticize. As for faults, if you set out to find faults, you will definitely get them. But at the end of the day, you need to juxtapose the the defects against the gains.
Okay.
And if you map the two together, you realize that at least the scales turn heavily in favor of the gains that we have made as a regional football association, as a region in terms of football. So football, it's growing on all fronts, Division 2, juvenile level, and then women football. And I believe that all and sundry should rally behind the Regional Football Association and its executive committee, so that together we can move the region forward.
Oh, that's quite remarkable, Alhaji. Thank you very much. But what's the biggest challenge you have faced so far, in your first term going into your second term? You talked about, the area of coverage, which we all know is very vast, and it means that even if you want to work, you need transportation. But what's the biggest challenge you have faced as an RFA chairman in this region?
Well, the biggest challenge, if you ask me, I would say is infrastructure. We need playing fields,
Okay.
not just any playing field. We need turfs, green grass, astroturf to play good football, film the matches so that we can market our players out there, and then people, foreign clubs would come and then buy them, or other senior clubs in the country will come and then buy them. But when you are sending videos out there and it's on the grassless pitch, at the end of the day, you are not able to make the required impact, because once it's not the green turf, clubs out there don't take you serious. So I think that my biggest challenge as a regional football association chairman is lack of or inadequate playing turfs, i.e. astroturf and then the grass pitches.
Okay.
And I think that if we are able to get this, I believe about 60% of our challenges as a region would have been resolved.
Okay. Well, Alhaji, thank you very much for sharing this experience with us. Like I indicated, Hotspot Arena will definitely come back to you, because you have other roles you are playing in the development of the game. This not only to your region, but of course the entire nation as a whole, as the chairman of the Black Satellite Committee, which is currently, playing in the Wafu Zombie Championship at Pram. And so that was the Regional Football Association chairman, Alhaji Abu-Hassan Rhyzo, sharing his expertise, his role as the representative of the Ghana Football Association here in a very, very big region, and of course how he has impacted in reshaping, our football development. We really appreciate some of us who have, followed him even before becoming the chairman of the Regional Football Association. Have seen the impact he's had, and some of us will wish that he continues. God will guide him, give him long life, the energy to drive, our football development to where we want it to be. It's been a pleasure talking to him here. We'll be back with more interviews on the Hot Sports Show. My name is Seymour Barrick, together with my team. Bye for now.